Good morning, everybody. So I'm excited to be sharing today about the high priesthood of Jesus, because this is really a topic that's brought me incredible peace over the last few years. And, I think we understand about the life of Jesus that he fulfilled the righteous requirements of the law of Moses, the more behavioral type stuff that was written in the law. Jesus fulfilled that. But then it gets thrown back onto us on how we respond to that. It becomes about our faith and our passion and our love for God and our worship for him. And that part of it gets thrown back on us. And I know this is something that I really struggled with in the past, that, I didn't always feel passionate. I didn't always feel like I loved God. I didn't always feel like I had the faith to please God or whatever. And so I got really self-analytical about that. But it's important when we see the high priesthood of Jesus is that, first off, we understand that the incarnation was not a 33-year blip on the map or on the time of world history, and then he disappeared into a puff of smoke. Jesus ascended in bodily form, and he continues in a human body as our high priest. So he is actually continuing his high priesthood. It says that he lives forever to make intercession for us. So his high priesthood has continued even up until this very moment, and where he's constantly praying on our behalf and interceding for us and in us and as us and all of that. So that's pretty phenomenal. So what is the high priesthood of Jesus? So we basically have to look at the law in order to see what the high priesthood of Jesus actually is and how it functions. So when we look at this, we have to think about how the high priest functioned in the Old Testament. And the first thing is important to see is that they fulfilled a double movement. They fulfilled the God movement to humans, but also they fulfilled the human movement back to God. And so basically what would happen is the people of Israel would all stand outside the temple, and then once a year on the Day of Atonement, the high priest would go in, the one for the many, the one person on behalf of all of Israel would go into the Holy of Holies, and they would have a breastplate on them, and it had all of the tribes of Israel inscrolled on the breastplate. And so the high priest would basically bring up and sum up all of the prayers of the people, all of their longings and repentance and all that, and the one for the many would bring that into the Holy of Holies before God, and on behalf of them confess and do all the rituals to God or whatever. And then after that, they would fulfill the God movement back to the people. They would basically come out of the Holy of Holies, and they would give the Aaronic blessing, the blessing of Aaron to the people. May God bless you and keep you. May he make his face to shine upon you. And so they fulfilled the both movements back and forth. And, this is basically what Jesus did. It says in Hebrews chapter 3, verse 1, that consider the apostle and high priest of our confession. So the apostle is somebody who is sent from God, but the high priest is someone who responds back to God on behalf of the people. And so this is what Jesus does for us. I mean, he is fulfilling the ordinance of worship as well. So all of that passion and all of that faith and all of that response and all of that worship, Jesus fulfills that on our behalf and continues to fulfill it as our high priest. So really, this is phenomenal. I mean, when we start feeling like we have wishy-washy faith, or we're not feeling as passionate, or we don't feel like we love God enough or whatever, Jesus has already fulfilled that on our behalf and continues to fulfill it in us. So worship becomes actually a gift of grace. We've been given, just like they were in the Old Testament, all of the rituals and stuff that they had to do. They were given a form of worship as a gift, and they just got to participate in that. And that's what we've been given in Jesus, our high priest. He's already responded on our behalf perfectly, and he's been given as a gift of grace that we simply get to participate in his perfect worship for God. So it's not thrown on us to whip up our own passion and our own faith and our own whatever love for God and all of that. We get to participate in the response of Jesus that he's already done on our behalf as our high priest. And really that just takes off all of the burden on us. I know for me, it's just given me incredible peace to know that I can bring my wishy-washy faith before him, because he has already invited me into his communion. He's invited me into our Father, and he's responded, and he believes for me, and he believes for you, and he has the passion for you and the love for you. And so we get to just participate in this, which it's really phenomenal. It's interesting that in the or when Jesus was talking about, he says, you shall love the Lord with all your heart, all your soul, and all your strength, and all your mind. You shall. And he doesn't say you should do this or you need to do this. He says you shall, you will. It's a promise that has been fulfilled in us and on our behalf. And so now Jesus functions as our high priest, and we get invited into the Holy of Holies with him to bring our wishy-washy faith and to maybe bring our half-hearted passion at times, or our half-hearted love or whatever, and know that Jesus is doing all of that on our behalf, and he's sanctifying our lives. He's sanctifying our prayers, our faith, all of that stuff. He's bringing it before God perfectly. And then we get to just simply participate in that. And so that should take the burden off us and give us just a lot of peace to rest in that, and know that he's coming back with the Aaronic blessing as well, and blessing us and saying, may God's face shine upon you. May he keep you and bless you and all of that. So I hope this can give you peace to know that he is our high priest, and he's fulfilling both sides, the movement of God toward us and our response. He's already fulfilled that as well. So just rest and enjoy it. It's a gift that we've been given to worship with his perfect worship. God bless.